everybody. We are here at Rouse's with our sweet friend, dietitian April.
Thank you. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. You are looking very festive today.
Thank you.
And
I'm excited.
I'm glad you are, because we are making something. When I think of Mardi Gras, I think of king cake.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to make a king cake that you can eat that'll be less calories. It's going to be lower in carbs. So it's a keto friendly king cake.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something that you can eat and not like feel too guilty about after.
So that's always good, because I feel like a lot of us indulge in the king cake and the
that's
moon pies.
You know, I mean, all good things in moderation, right? So we have some great king cakes here at Rouse's, all different types of flavors. I know my son just asked for that for his birthday cake, for a king cake, you know. So yeah, so you can definitely get your regular king cakes, but this is specifically like a keto friendly type. So it's going to be a little bit, and it's pretty easy too. This is really simple.
And also when it's out of season, and if you're craving a king cake, bam.
Super simple. Exactly. That's a great point.
Now, something I want to talk about, the crust here, which is kind of the keto part, and it's super, super cool.
Yeah, I love the crust because it's made from vegetables. So anytime we can get some extra veggies in, I'm all for it, right? So we have a crust. The one we're going to be using today for this king cake is the zucchini keto crust. You could also use the cauliflower keto crust as an alternative for this one as well. Both of those, you don't think of them as being sweet, right? But both of those have more of a neutral flavor. So whatever you put on top of it, that's what it's basically going to taste like.
So we have a lot of different crusts here. I see a couple that could be used for pizza wraps. Also, I see a sweet one too.
Yes, yes. So there's a chocolate zucchini keto crust, which is really great because you can just take that and put some of your favorite toppings on there and make it. You can even make like a Mounds bar. You can put some cream cheese, and you can put some coconut flakes. I mean, super simple and easy. So that's what I like about these, is they're really easy to work with too. So with this crust right here, what we're going to do is we're going to add our brown sugar. We're going to use Swerve brown sugar, and I also mixed in some cinnamon with it as well. And we're going to put that as our first layer. You want to do it?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So we're just going to spread it around.
Okay, perfect. Super easy. Now tell me a little bit about Swerve. I know we use this a lot for a lot of our sweeter recipes, but it's just a good alternative.
Yeah, I like this one. We have different kinds. We have the brown sugar, we have the granular sugar in Swerve, and we also have the confectioner sugar. And what it is it's made from fermented fruits and vegetables. So it makes this like a sugar alcohol called erythritol, and it's super easy to bake, and you can also replace it in your recipe on a 1-to-1 ratio. So however much sugar it says, you could just replace it with that amount of Swerve. Now what we're doing today is we're using the brown sugar, which I love, because if you've ever made a king cake from scratch or seen one being made, a lot of times that there's a cinnamon and brown sugar layer in the inside before there's a filling. So that's what we're putting right here, and that's what's going to make it taste like a king cake.
Yummy.
Yes.
So is there a certain amount we need to put on, or just kind of cover the middle?
Just kind of cover it up. Yeah, exactly. I just mixed up enough to kind of go on a few different cakes, but on our recipe we do have where you put about 1/4 of a cup of the Swerve, and then mix the cinnamon in there.
Perfect.
And then the other thing that I did was I did preheat the oven to 350 degrees, and what we're going to do is we're going to bake this crust with the brown sugar on it for about 7 minutes, and then it'll be ready to top. So easy. It's super simple.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to this. We're going to put this in the oven. We'll be right back with more keto king cakes. Here with dietitian April, and we are getting ready for the season. Well, the season's here. We're in the midst of it and celebrating with a keto king cake pizza.
Yes. Have you ever like gone to eat a king cake and going, I wish I could find one that's maybe just a tiny bit healthier. Maybe I can make one just a tiny bit healthier.
Right. And there's so many options.
Yes, exactly. So that's what we're making today. We're going to make a keto king cake, and so what we're using is our zucchini crust. So that's our bottom layer. We just added some Swerve brown sugar and also mixed with some cinnamon. So that's going to be our first layer in the king cake. And in the next part, we're going to add some cream cheese, and we're going to mix it. We're just going to put a tiny bit of milk. So we're using some coconut milk, but you could use some evaporated milk, a little skim milk, something to loosen this cream cheese just a little bit up, just so that you can spread it pretty good.
Right, right. So that is baked and done, and it smells delicious. So now we're going to work on our topping. I see some vanilla.
And we're going to put some vanilla, about 2 teaspoons of vanilla in there. And we're also going to add our cream cheese. Now, the cream cheese, I've had it sitting at room temperature to soften it a little bit. And so what we're going to do is, so we baked that for about 7 minutes. We took that out, and then we're just going to let it cool just for a few minutes. And then we're going to, while it's cooling, we're just going to blend this up. And so it's really easy and simple, and just mix and go, and then we're going to spread it on there.
Oh, that looks delicious. And we're using fat-free cream cheese. So even something I love about your recipes, we just ever so slightly make these small changes, like our Swerve sugar, our fat-free cream cheese, and it really does make a big difference in what we're eating and what we're putting in our bodies.
Definitely, definitely. And you can use the 1/3 less fat, or you can use, whichever kind you prefer. But what we're doing is we're actually making this king cake with a vegetable crust. So that's pretty cool too, because whoever thought that you would have a king cake flavor with a vegetable, right?
Right, and it kind of just takes to whatever flavor that you put on top of it. So we got the brown sugar and the yummy cream cheese.
It really does. It really does. And I'm just mixing this up. I'm just going to get it nice and smooth and creamy. And we're just going to put our Mardi Gras colors on top. It's going to be so good.
I'm so looking forward to this. Before we go, real quick, we want to talk about Eat Right with Rouse's. You guys are busy all year long.
Oh, yes, yes. We have so much fun, especially now at the beginning of the year. A lot of people are looking for healthier recipes and ways that they can get healthier and find some good alternatives. So our Eat Right with Rouse's program is there for you. And we have our shelf tags along the store. We have our website on rouses.com that also has a lot of information on there about just getting healthy for the new year, and helping you find some great recipes and just giving you some ideas and tips.
Right, right. So definitely take advantage of that. We got everything whipped up, and now we're going to
smooth it on top. That's it.
Right. Well, stick with us when we come back. We are talking some Mardi Gras sprinkles and sugar, so don't miss that. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Welcome back into Rouse's alongside dietitian April. So for the folks just tuning in right now, tell them, what have we been working on so far tonight?
All right, so we're working on an awesome keto king cake.
How great does that sound, y'all?
Yes, so much fun. So it's a lower calorie king cake, lower carb. It's just going to give you an option to have that king cake flavor without having all of the calories and things with it. So, and the carbs with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to top our keto king cake with our Sola sweetener. Okay? So we're using the Sola sweetener, which is a blend of different sugar alternatives. It has erythritol, it has monk fruit, it has stevia, so it's a mixture of different kinds. And it's a white color, and what we're going to do is we're going to color it with our food coloring. Now we did this a little bit ahead because it does take a few minutes to mix it together. A little tip from Diane that was helping me today is that if you mix the red and the blue together to make the purple, then if you mix the two colors together first and then add it to the sugar, that way it blends evenly in the sugar. Gotcha. And so I'm using the little baggies because it helps you when you rub it together like that, it helps your colors come through. Otherwise, if you mix it in a bowl, it's a little bit hard. Yeah. And so I thought it would be fun if you and I had a little decorating competition. What do you think about that?
I do. I like a competition of any sort, so I'm definitely down for that. That sounds good.
Yes. So we're going to decorate our king cakes. And this is sort of a non-traditional type of king cake, so you can decorate it however you want. You don't have to decorate it in any certain pattern or anything like that. It's up to you. And and we're just going to have some fun with this.
And there are so many benefits to this. Of course, you know, you and I are parents, and it's fun to be able to get the kids involved in something. They would have a great time doing this.
This is super kid friendly. In fact, this is probably one of the more time-consuming parts is mixing the colors, but kids love it. Give them a Ziploc bag with some colors and some sugar in it. They'll just have a blast. I mean, they'll just have so much fun.
I love that when we're talking about the elements to a king cake too, that you have found healthier solutions to the majority of what goes into it, of course, with the crust itself being keto friendly and with the sugar being a sugar replacement. You have improved this in so many ways, and it's still going to taste great.
Yes, yes. Well, whenever we got these keto crusts a few weeks ago, and whenever they came out, I said, you know what? It's almost Mardi Gras time. Let's try to figure out, since these are low carb, if we can make this into a low carb version of a king cake, which is, I love what you're doing, which is so much fun, you know, because it's fun to be able to come out and, of course, we love our regular king cake, and Rouse's has so many to choose from. We even have like a unicorn king cake you can order.
Yeah.
I mean, so many different kinds. But I thought it would be fun if we would be able to have those flavors, but just have an option where if somebody's following maybe a stricter diet, or if they were just looking for an alternative, they would have something. I love it. They would have something that they could go to. And like what Chelsea said a little while ago, is she said, you know what, if you're having a king cake craving during the year and it's not king cake season, then you can make this.
Hey, how about that?
And get those flavors. Yes.
You know, every now and then Chelsea has a good idea too. All right, so check it out, y'all. Here we go.
Yes.
It's because your recipe makes me smile, April.
That's so cute.
All right, y'all. Find more about this online, the Studio 10 tab at fox10tv.com. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras. Thanks for having me.
No problem.